Unfortunately, we all saw this coming. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about the Black News Channel, also known as BNC, officially shutting down after starting only back in 2020. Now, you guys may be asking, what is a Black News Channel? Who was behind it? Who's on it? Why is it shutting down? Well, great questions. Glad you asked. Let's go back to 2020. The owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, a billionaire by the name of Shad Khan, I think he's of Pakistani origin. I think he's like from there and came over here later. Not really sure how he got here, but regardless of what, he is a billionaire, owns the Jaguars and a bunch of other sports related businesses. He owns AEW Wrestling. He owns a soccer club, and he also owns an automotive company that makes bumpers for cars all over the US of A, maybe even the world. I think their revenue was like 8.9 billion just for the automotive part, not even including the Jacksonville Jaguars and the soccer club and AEW. So we're talking about a really rich guy. And his vision was to have a news network with Black anchors that I suppose will focus on Black topics or have anchors that will be able to speak from a quote unquote Black perspective. I'm not really sure what the actual purpose was, but he set out to start this network back in 2020. And I knew from the beginning that it wasn't going to work, because to have something like that on TV is just way too niche. There's too many TV stations on air as it is. So to have a Black news channel, I don't think that was going to be a model that can actually succeed. All right. You already have BET. And I remember watching BET back in the day, and they had this segment called, I forget what the segment was called, but it had Ed Gordon on there. I think it was BET Nightly News with Ed Gordon. Now, that was around for a while, but it eventually faded out. They tried to bring it back with TJ Holmes, who was on CNN, ABC, a few other networks, kind of a network mercenary, if you will. They tried to bring that back to BET. I think it was called Don't Sleep, where they were going to bring on kind of like Cousin Jeff Rhapsody, introspective, kind of like higher elevated thinking, news topics, basically. But that didn't work either, because a lot of us simply aren't interested in Black perspective news on television. Now, they may come to the internet and see something like that. They may come to a YouTube channel like mine and many others and see it there, but not necessarily on television. That's a very, very niche thing to have a whole TV network based around. And of course, they tried it and it failed. You had some okay guys on there, but nobody that I think was really charismatic enough to carry the network. There was no Stephen A. Smith equivalent over on Black News Channel, if you understand what I'm saying. Like ESPN at this point, it's a powerhouse network. They got a lot of money, but the main driving force of the network is Stephen A. Smith. Without him, they'd be in a lot worse shape than what they are. They would have ratings straight in the toilet. And speaking of ratings, the ratings over on BNC were terrible for a long time. I may have done a video about it, or I spoke about it in a live stream. Their ratings are almost dead last out of all the TV networks in the country. I think they might have been the worst or the second to worst. And there was some kind of obscure comedy channel that was right there in the bottom of the barrel with them. Basically, nobody was watching this. They recently reported on their own Twitter a record high number of views because of the Ketanji Brown, Jackson confirmation and some other stuff. But there may be a record number of views, but that does not equate to having a network that's going to make any money. And to get back to the anchors right quick, you have Mark Lamont Hill, who we all know, the woke professor from Temple University in Philadelphia. He's like a network mercenary as well. You have Charles Blow, a writer, another network merc, and Mike Hill, who was on ESPN before. He was on Fox Sports 1. I think Mike Hill was probably the strongest guy on there, but they paired him with a woman, and it was just kind of a weird dynamic. She kind of was kind of like masculine. It was just the way that the whole thing was structured didn't make any sense. And from what I hear from you guys, shout out to y'all who have told me about it. Some of you guys that have worked there or worked there recently. I'll talk about the employees in one moment. Some of you guys said that it was just run poorly from top to bottom, a lot of incompetence, not really necessarily Black centered without getting into any kind of allegation that might mess around and get me sued. But from what I hear, allegedly, it wasn't really necessarily a black friendly place, although it's a black network. So when you see stuff like, okay, black news channel, we're going to get together, black and woke, there's actual business behind all that. And once the business ain't right, once the money gets funny, then all that my black brother stuff goes out the window. Okay, Shad Khan or whoever's running it ain't caring about you when the money ain't right, when the money is funny and when the ratings ain't going well. And when you guys are on air, kind of just fishing, trying to find something to get people to watch. You understand what I'm saying? It just, all that my black brother stuff leaves out the window immediately as soon as that business gets weird. And to speak about the employees, my heart goes out to the employees because they got fired like, kind of like you get laid off from your job and it's over. It's not necessarily a warning or, no, it's just, okay, you're getting fired right now. And Marc Lamont Hill actually alleges that the employees who were there still when the company folded did not get their final pay. Said they are taking pay cuts. There's already kind of a sinking ship, but at the end, nobody got their pay that they were owed. Now, I think the National Association of Black Journalists, NABJ, are trying to work out a deal to get the employees at least 3 weeks of pay beyond what they were, I guess maybe to include what they were promised from BNC or some kind of stopgap in between BNC and somewhere else. But it's really a shame for those who work there. My heart goes out to you guys. I wasn't a fan of the network, but if you work in a regular job, you're just a normie, shuffling papers or whatever it is, I feel for you if you lost your job. But I think this was something that anybody could have seen coming. As Marc Lamont Hill said, there had already been pay cuts. There had probably already been people getting fired. The writing was on the wall. Anybody could have seen that this was not going to work. And like I said, I think the main thing people like this on that network should do is go work on an online space, social media, YouTube. That should be where it is. Trying to have a network like that is not going to work. You got a billionaire that's the primary investor. He can spend money until ain't no more money left. But at a certain point, it's like, okay, this is not going to turn a profit. This is not going to be something that people want to watch. Why would I watch BNC? Okay, it's a really niche network when I can just go on the internet, search on YouTube and find a bunch of different people who are black, who I may think have a quote unquote black perspective, and they're independent of a boss and red tape and the corporate structure. They can just say what they want to say whenever they want to say it within reason, as long as they ain't saying nothing crazy or illegal or doing anything crazy or illegal. They can say what they want. They're not subject to Prince Hair or Shad Khan or any kind of power struggle behind the scenes of Marc Lamont Hill or whoever may be the top dog over there or who may have been a top dog over there. So yeah, I think this is also kind of a warning to any other news station that may want to start. Anybody, even like some of these places that are already in existence, even the CNN, MS13, DNC, ABC, etc., they're all going to start to lose revenue. They're going to lose ratings. It's YouTubers right now that do better than CNN concurrently nightly. Already right now, you got guys doing that. Louder, Crowder. I mean, the future, as I close, is going to exclude some of these, the TV networks. You're still going to have your normies that watch TV and get news from there exclusively, but that's going to become less and less and less as time progresses. Okay, the younger generation, they're not watching TV at all. They're getting news from TikTok.com. I lie to you not. TikTok. They're getting news from there. Like they're searching on TikTok about Ukraine to figure out what's happening. Of course, they'll get Chinese propaganda, random weirdo leftists, but that's where they're going. That's where they're going. They would rather go on TikTok and find news than watch a BNC or a CNN. You understand? So I think also, who's your market really at BNC? Is it, more upscale, like middle class, upper middle class, black folks? Who are you trying to reach? Again, very, very niche. Not enough people are going to be able to support that. Therefore, you're going to have low ratings, low viewership, low advertiser rates, just overall low money to a point where it doesn't make any sense to continue the operation. Unfortunately, those who are working there got laid off without their final compensation. But I think anyone who was in a situation has to realize that this same thing could happen at other places if it's too niche, too new, and not really well organized from within. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? How do you feel about what happened here with Black News Channel? Are you surprised? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. I think it was doomed from the beginning, and the ratings showed as much. I'm not necessarily somebody that's against a quote unquote Black News Channel, whatever. As far as the name, if you can make it work, that's fine. But if you can't, then it is what it is. It's not a racism thing because you putting the product out there. People are going to watch it or they're not going to watch it. If they don't watch it, you're going to fold. As simple as that. If you have bad internal organization, bad internal structure, you're going to fold from within. And on top of that, the ratings, I mean, you can't get out from under that. So I think the conclusion here was easily predictable, unfortunately. And again, let it be a lesson to anyone else out there. When you see something like that, it seems a little bit too centered and focused, and you don't really see how they're going to generate revenue and become successful. Just trust your instincts on that one. Don't second guess. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.